I built this small keepsake box for my daughter for her birthday, and despite it being such a small project in size, it's actually quite a few details in this little box and quite a bit going on. So to start things off, I will mill up some walnut for the box itself, and then I can proceed from there. For the joinery on this box, I'll be using a store-bought jig to cut finger joints or box joints, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to cut a test piece first out of some scrap that I milled up to the same thickness as the walnut to make sure that all of my settings are correct. When you're dealing with a jig like this, you really have to be sure and put your hips into it. I'm cutting slots in the box sides with a straight bit at the router table to accept both the top and the bottom. After test fitting the box together to make sure everything fit right, I then had to cut what would eventually be the top off the front of the box so that I could mortise out for the brass lock set that I was going to install, because it'd be a whole lot easier to do it at this point than it would be after the box is glued up and you can't really access it. Before glue up, I decided to go ahead and ebonize and lacquer the MDF top and bottom for the box. Hold on. Good job. Spread it out.
I'm gonna read it. To make a cake layer.
Look at all that glue squeeze out.
Front tower, you mean?
Yeah.
We'll see. I think we got it. Give me 5.
I glued the box up in stages as to try and minimize squeeze out and make it as less stressful as possible. I marked out for the brass hinges with the box clamped together and then used the same basic process as before to mortise for the hinges as I did for the lock set. I pre-drilled each one of the holes before inserting the brass screws. This was especially important for the latch for the top because the brass screws were extremely tiny. To begin preparing for the artwork on the top, I cut out all of the appropriate colored woods that I would need and then took them to the bandsaw to resaw them before sending them through the drum sander to get them all to the same exact thickness. To cut out the artwork for the lid, I'm employing the use of my Inventables Carve. My wife first drew the image up in Illustrator before sending it over to Easel to create the tool path for cutting it out on the X-Carve. I would like to thank Inventables for sponsoring this video and making this project possible. If you would like more information about Inventables themselves or the X-Carve, I'll put a link to that in the description below. I cut the background for the lid down at the table saw before lightly sanding each of the pieces and then spraying each one of them with a couple of coats of spray lacquer. I'm really pleased with how this box came out overall. A lot of the little details I think came out really neat. Some of the grain wraps around the box and the way the brass accents look with the walnut. And of course, the top artwork is really neat. And overall, I think this project really couldn't have come out really any better. So, what do you think of the box?
It's cool.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about it?
The Olaf,
You
because he's my favorite character.
He's your favorite character?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what are you planning on storing in this box?
I'm planning on storing special things.
Special things? All right, that sounds good. Well, that's all I got for you this time. So happy trails. Thanks for watching. I think maybe we should store candy in here. What do you think? We could keep it safe?
Yeah.
Keep people from stealing it? What do you think?
Yeah.